Imagine a city buzzing with technology, where from a single quiet little bungalow, a master plan is kicking off. A plan that's about to grab four totally ordinary women and pull them into a game of absolute control. What starts out looking like a sleek tech thriller, well, it very quickly turns into something else entirely, something way, way stranger. So let's get into it and break down exactly what happens. First up, let's meet our unwilling players: Lena, Mariam, Ida, and Hira. Now, these women have never met. They've got nothing in common, really, except for one terrifying detail. They've all been randomly selected to be pawns in a game they don't even know exists. And that's the whole point, you see. They could be anybody. They could be you. And who's pulling the strings? You might think it's some huge, shadowy organization, right? Nope. It's just one guy. A single, powerful mind watching the whole city from his control room. His power doesn't come from an army of goons. It comes from his tech, his money, and a perfectly crafted plan where he gets to be the sole author of all this misery. And here's what's so fascinating about this antagonist. He's not in it for the money or for world domination. For him, this whole thing is a performance. It's a work of art. As he watches four little red dots pop up on his screen, representing the women he's just trapped, he feels this deep, chilling satisfaction. You know, the pieces are finally on the board, and the story he's writing, it's only just getting started. This really brings us to the core of the problem, doesn't it? A question that's honestly bigger than just this story. I mean, think about it. When your enemy can see everything you do, track your every step, and even control your body from miles away with a push of a button, what chance do you really have? It just sets the stage for this desperate, almost impossible fight for freedom. All right, so who are these four women? And how exactly did this nightmare start for them? Well, it all began with a quick, quiet, and brutal act that locked them into the villain's story for good. For Lena, it happens in the one place she should have felt completely safe. One minute, she's just relaxing at home, minding her own business. The next, there's a black band locked around her ankle. Cold, heavy, and it is not coming off. Mariam goes through the exact same horror in her own apartment. She tries everything to get it off. I'm talking soap, oil, just trying to rip it off. But every single time, she's hit with this sharp electric jolt that just leaves her on the floor, breathless and shaking. Ada gets ambushed right after a late shift at work. She's walking with her friend, laughing on second, and the next, she's being pinned down while this device is snapped onto her leg. And Hira, she's marked right there with Evita, turning a simple walk home into the beginning of a shared nightmare. So there you have it. Four women, four different spots, now all tied together by the same invisible chain. Their freedom just gone in an instant. So what is this ankle bracelet exactly? Because it's so much more than just a tracking device. Oh yeah, this is a tool of absolute total control. It delivers these agonizing electric shocks if you disobey. It monitors their biometrics, their heart rate, their stress levels, you name it. And the most terrifying part? It has a remote shutdown switch. It's designed for one thing: total compliance. So with his pawns all set up, the antagonist starts his twisted little game. See, he doesn't just want control in secret. He wants a public show. He wants to use these women to create chaos and confusion all across the city for everyone to see. His first test is a parcel drop. He forces all four of them to meet on a single street corner, right in front of the police to deliver a package. Then he kicks it up a notch. He makes them trigger the alarms in four different banks at the exact same second. There's no rhyme or reason to it, no motive. It's just pure, calculated chaos, designed to make the police chase their own tails. And this is where our villain shows off his ultimate power move. A detective named Rahim finally brings Lena and Idea in for questioning. The second he asks them about the ankle bracelets, both women just collapse. Their bodies literally just turn off. The message couldn't be clearer. The characters in his story don't get to go off script. But right when it looks like the villain's plan is completely foolproof, that his control is absolute, the story takes this wild, unpredictable turn. The rules of this whole narrative, they're about to get completely shattered. Out of absolutely nowhere, two new players just enter the game. They don't fit. They don't follow the rules. They seem to be operating on a totally different level of reality, almost like they've read the script ahead of time and decided they really don't like it. The first one to show up is Ramirez, and with this one line, she just breaks the entire story wide open. She doesn't see some criminal mastermind. She sees a writer. To her, they're all just characters trapped in some sick story. And this isn't a crime spree. It's, and I quote, harassment by plot device. So these two wild cards, they completely flip the board. You've got Ramirez, the fighter, this chaotic force who's 100% convinced that some sadistic writer is pulling all the strings. And then you have Zirnab, a brilliant hacker who can fight the system not by breaking in from the outside, but by literally rewriting its code from within. They're a glitch in the antagonist's perfect little world. Okay, so armed with this new, bizarre advantage, the team manages to trace a signal back to where it all started, a perfectly clean, pristine bungalow on the edge of the city. They think they're finally hunting the villain down, but what's really happening is they're walking right into the final act he's written just for them. And of course, it's a trap. Here's how it all goes down. First, the bait. The team follows the signal right to the front door. They're met by this super polite host, a guy named Ashraf, who is, of course, the mastermind. He offers them tea, which is drugged, and boom, the whole team is captured. Finally, the big reveal. Down in his basement, Ashraf shows them the true scale of his operation, a massive control system that stretches all across Indo-Pac. But the story's not over yet. Ramirez, saying she's just using a writer's idea, comes up with this crazy plan to escape. The team finds Ashraf's server room, and in this frantic race against time, another tech expert named Zyra helps Serena tear down the entire network. And just like that, the four women are finally free. But while everyone is focused on destroying the system, Ashraf, the guy who built it all, just quietly slips away. So, the team won the battle, right? They did it. But the war, the war is far from over. They've managed to cut the strings on 4 of his puppets, but the puppet master himself is still out there, probably getting ready to start a brand new story. So where does that leave everyone? Well, Lena, Mariam, Ida, and Hira are finally free. That's the good news. The bad news, the mastermind, Ashraf, is gone. His main control system is destroyed, but his bigger network of pawns is still a threat. And the weirdest part of all, the 2 wildcards, Ramirez and Zarinab, they just vanish the second their role in the story is done. Gone. And that leaves us with a really chilling final thought. The puppets are free, sure, but the guy who created all their suffering is still out there. And if Ramirez was right, if this whole thing really is just a story, then the real question isn't just about how the heroes are going to catch him, it's about what twisted plot this writer has planned for the next chapter.